Welcome to meditation at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living this morning. My name is Janelle Carroll, and I am a licensed religious science practitioner here at the center. And I'm grateful to be here this morning in meditation. As we begin, I invite you to focus on your breathing. Breathing into that space within. Breathing out and releasing all tension. You know what to do. You came here to go there. Breathe into that space within and settle. Your thoughts settle. Your body settle. Your heart into that space within where the still, small voice waits. That still, small voice. The universal voice. Open to that universal voice. The many becoming one. One made of the many. The voice that speaks. The voice that listens. When I think of the voice, I think of a voice raised in song. What if it is all song? That universal voice, mother's heartbeat, your heartbeat, music, voice, song. It's playing. An instrument? The human voice? Wind in trees? Flash of wings? Falling snow? Dragonfly darting? Light dancing? What if all of life is that music? One song playing. One song. Universal voice. Joy and laughter and triumph, the major chord, and the anthem soar. The universal voice of harmony, crescendos that build. That's playing. Disease and grief and defeat, the minor chords, they fall gradually. Wow. Child, hand, bang, on piano. Just playing. All the universal voice. What you feel now, major or minor, it's just a universal voice. Playing. So what? So listen. Listen. Enjoying with it your part. stories, the music, again and again. Unforgettable, creating the end of a verse, the beginning of another, the universal voice. Listen. It's everywhere. You will hear it. It is playing one song. It is playing one powerful universe. It begins in the beginning. It was playing before. It does not stop when you forget to listen. It does not stop. It is playing now. That universal voice. Listen. Bring your attention back to your breath, listening to that inhale and that exhale. Bringing your attention back to that body, your body, that listens for that universal voice. Remembering where you are and who you are in this moment and in every moment. Thank you for being here today, this morning. Namaste.
Good morning and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. We're having a little party here for everybody online. There's a lot of talking and enjoyment of socialization in the background, and that is just wonderful. Welcome to the second Sunday of 2023. My name is Kristen Piers. I'm a practitioner here at the Columbus Center, and it is my pleasure to read you the announcements. Yes! So, but the announcements are very important because without announcements, how would we know what's going on? Well, one way we would know would be to read the newsletter. It comes out, the newsletter. It comes out once a month and tells you everything that's going on. If you are not receiving our newsletter, you can let Robin know, and she'll add you to the list.
Robin, raise your hand. Robin. Hi, Robin.
There's Robin. Yay! Thanks to those of you who joined us for our meditation this morning. It was such a relaxing and good experience. Thank you to everyone who has turned in their 2023 pledge cards. It's greatly appreciated. Our pledge goal for 2023 of $125,000 has been met at 43%. So we have pledges of $54,030 for 2023. And we appreciate the abundance that is gathering and growing our community. Our pledge drive has concluded. And of course, you're welcome to turn in a pledge at any time that you're inspired. And our core council will create a budget based on the $54,030 that has been pledged for 2023. Next week, you want to be here. Kristen Wilcock is leading a workshop, and it's called Calling in the New, Mastering the Art of Visualization and Setting Intention. So it'll be here in the community room, 12 to 2, and Kristen has been doing a lot of extra studying in the past year plus, and she's going to share a lot of that knowledge. So please be here next Sunday for this workshop. Our annual meeting will take place in the near future. Our nominations corps is looking for people who would like to serve on the nominations corps or the vision corps, or both. And if you are a member and have taken the foundations class, contact Jody Bowman or Margie Sammons to let them know you're interested. Finally, if you would like prayer after service anytime throughout the week, you can come see me after service for prayer or contact any of the practitioners through the columbuscsl.org website. And you can also submit a prayer request in the box in the back. All right, that's the news for today. Let's all stand up and sing our opening song, I Woke Up This Morning.
My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupolo, and it is my honor to welcome you here on this cool January morning. No matter who you are, no matter how you identify, no matter where you are in life on your spiritual journey, you are welcome, honored, and celebrated exactly where you are and who you are here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Hello to all of the online watchers. Please feel free to share our live stream to your own Facebook page. We are glad that you are watching us virtually. If you are watching at a later time, we're glad to have you as well. We will upload our service to our YouTube channel, Columbus CSL, at a later time. Please say our mission statement along with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. And I'd like to thank practitioner Janelle Carroll for the meditation today. And now I'd like to reintroduce practitioner Kristen Pierce.
And now, with the ringing of the bowl, we begin our sacred service. A reading from Getting Along with People, essay in Living the Science of Mind. If you want sunshine, step into the sunshine. If you have locked yourself away in a dark closet, why not come out into the light? If you have been feeling that everything is against you and no one really cares for you, know that God is in everyone, and meet the God in others and see what happens. Now let the music take us to the silence within.
Wait
from this place of quiet. I am still. I recognize that all there is God. Every piece and part of me and every piece and part of everyone here and beyond is part of God. All that God is, I am, and each person here is as well. Where there is joy, there is God, and peace and love. It's all in God. Every breath, every heartbeat, every thought. I am so grateful to be a part of this oneness, this wholeness right here and right now, knowing that all that needs to be said is said, and all that needs to be heard is heard, trusting in the words that come through Reverend Amy as she speaks today, trusting in the ears and the minds that interpret and hear and allow those words in, trusting in the body. I am grateful. I feel the abundance. It is good. I open more. I say yes. And I let go. And so
January. Our theme this year, yes, I think, Living Out Loud. Our monthly theme, is that right? Living Out Loud? It's our yearly theme, thank you, Margie. Living Out Loud. Our monthly theme is root and reboot. And our weekly theme today is the universal voice. So, gosh, so those of you who have been around for a while, and I know that there are, typically in the Centers for Spiritual Living, in January, we go through, usually it's the first 4 books of the textbook, and the first 4 weeks of January. And sticking with that theme, we're doing that again. So we're looking at the very basic, the very fundamentals of what Centers for Spiritual Living teaches by using the philosophy of religious science, also probably more so called science of mind. So, the fundamental principles of science of mind is focused on the truth that we are not only of spirit, but we are also in spirit. Our divine essence is spirit, or God, or Yahweh, no matter what you choose to call it, no matter what path you take around the mountain, we're all going to the same place. We take our rightful place by taking personal responsibility for our actions while extending generosity and compassion to others. We deepen our practice of awareness, prayer, meditation, visioning, for the benefit and the enrichment of the whole of humanity, of the earth's creatures, and of the earth itself. Ernest Holmes, who wrote our textbook and who studied not only all of the major world religions, but also studied William James, the father of modern psychology. He studied what would eventually become quantum physics, and he put it all into this philosophy of religious science. He wrote the textbook back in, I think it was 1919, the very first one, and then they revised it, and gosh, I think the second one they put out in 23. In his Declaration of Principles, we have 10 principles. Margie handed out the bookmarks, and she has them there with her, if you'd like to have one. It has our Declaration of Principles. Anybody want one? If you do, raise your hand. Helen can grab you one. If you didn't get one last week, thank you. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? So Holmes, in our Declaration of Principles, in his Declaration of Principles, which is what we also practice, says, we believe in the incarnation of the Spirit and man, and that all men are incarnations of the one Spirit. So that is our first tenet, that is our first principle, that there is one. There's one Spirit, there's only one thing. This is different than the Judeo-Christian, the Abrahamic traditions that say there are two opposing powers. We don't believe in two opposing powers. We believe in one power. I was listening also to an interview with the Dalai Lama this week, and he was asked about the suffering in the world, and the Buddhist, let me see if I can say this right, the Buddhists say that, the Buddhist belief is that all causes of suffering are because of attachment. And so when the Dalai Lama was asked about suffering, his answer was oneness. He said, we are all one. We are all brothers and sisters of each other in this world. And that is exactly the same thing that we practice and that we teach in religious science. So, root, reboot. This idea of God is and I am. God is in each and every one of us as unique individualizations. And God is beyond us. This and that. God is and I am is the one fundamental truth of our being, of our teaching, and of our being. Each one of us is divinely connected to that one source, that one divine intelligence. Traditionally, our teaching has focused on the power of the individual. So our teaching, religious science, has been about change your thinking, change your life. And we've gotten some flack over the years about it being a mental philosophy, about it being not enough of a feeling philosophy, not enough about love. But Ernest Holmes did say that he wishes he would have written more about love in his later years. But he spoke very clearly that I am, and so we all are. So our goal here is to realize not only our own individual power, but to see and work in concert with that same power that exists in and through all the souls that we meet. So the idea is this. Yes, we teach change your thinking, change your life. How do we change our thinking? We teach affirmative prayer, 5-step prayer. It's a way to engage the law of cause and effect, to put a new thought into law, because when we put a new thought into law always says yes. And so what prayer does is changes our mind to be receptive and to accept what we have put into law. So prayer does nothing to the law. Prayer changes our thinking to be receptive. Now, our teaching tells us that not only to live in conscious awareness of the law of cause and effect, as we think, so we experience, but also in alignment with that preemptive truth that all is love. That God is good all the time. That life is for us and never against us. And that love, we know that the love that is spirit is always for our good. And good is what I like to describe or explain as life promoting. Rather than place a human imagined limits on our good, what if we accept with faith that there is a bigger idea in the I am, and prepare ourselves to receive that good in the best form for us? Think about that. I want to read it again. We know that the love that is spirit is always for our good. And rather than place human imagined limits on that good, what if we accept with faith that there is a bigger idea in the I am, and prepare ourselves to receive that good in the best form for us? So what if that I am God has a bigger, grander idea, something that our finite minds can't even imagine? What if we step out into faith and say, thy way, not my way? It's that idea of how much good, how much God can we stand? How much good can you stand? In the textbook, Holmes says, the great love of the universe must be one with the great law of its own being. And we approach love through law. Then, this teaching, love and law, as the love of God is perfect, so the love of God is also perfect. We must understand both of them. He also tells us that everyone has a potential Christ, and that everyone is a potential Christ, and everyone has an inherent God power within. Now I'm curious because I've been doing religious science, I've been studying this philosophy for a long time, and I'm curious if that kind of makes some of you kind of like bristle to think, to hear him say, everyone has a potential Christ. Because what we teach and practice here is that Christ was not the only one. He was the great example. Reminding ourselves of the tenets of our faith remains critical to our ongoing growth. Holmes maintained that we are to remain open at the top. In other words, his hope for us and for this teaching was that this teaching was going to evolve and grow just the same way that the world does. However, by rooting ourselves in the foundational spiritual laws of life, we have an opportunity to apply these teachings to our lives as they are today, bringing ourselves into alignment with our teaching, which supports us in rebooting ourselves at the beginning of this year so we can live out loud. And going back to that first principle, it's all one. God speaks to us and through us, all of us, equally. It resides in each and every one of us, no matter who you are. And because you are made up of that God stuff, and everyone is, you are worthy no matter what. Period. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to shop anywhere else. You have to make the perfect dinner. You don't even have to make your bed every morning. What if this world really could wake up to the fact that we are worthy exactly as we are right now? And that nobody has to take anybody else's worth from them. Because as we work with each other, we are working with God. Think about that. Bless you. Holmes says everyone has a potential Christ. When we see ourselves as Christ potential, we are being invited into a realm of consciousness that is open at the top, in that it is infinite in its ability to express. This awareness moves us out of the traditional role of hero, victim, and villain, that triangulation, into a world where we see each other as creator, collaborator, and coaches. In his essay, Getting Along with People in Living the Science of Mind, Holmes wrote that the well-adjusted person is one who has been permitted to be an individual, but who also has learned to cooperate with others. He writes that our childhood conditioning can get in the way of that healthy outlook, and it can take years of therapy to unravel that. But Holmes says there's another way. Rather than dwell on the past, we can again look to spirit for the answer. This comes by applying a new thought that today I am born anew. That principle knows nothing of precedent. That today is a new day, and today I align myself with the highest idea of spirit and vow to live from that. And each day I begin again, and in so doing, I spiral upwards and begin to experience life as spirit. Isn't that reminds me of, I think it reminds me of that idea that God has my picture on its refrigerator. Think about that. Think about, and maybe feel it. When we're born anew every day, what if we vow to live from that place where we align ourselves, we open ourselves to the idea of God's highest idea for us, which our finite minds can't even imagine. So we open ourselves up to God's highest idea of ourselves, and we vow to live from that place. Holmes also told us that the spiral of life is upwards, and we experience life as spirit. Life is for us and not against us. You are the way God looks back at itself. And I'll tell myself right now, like Michael Beckwith says, quit trying to fix yourself and start to see yourself. So, in closing, here's a short story. Ernest Holmes used the book of Job in the Old Testament to describe the difference between living from the ego self and living from the divine self, or as he says, the divine incarnation of all people. Job thought he had an ego separate from the thing itself, and sometimes in Science of Mind we call God the thing itself, which I love. Job thought he had an ego separate from the thing itself. He got into all kinds of trouble because of this. He was out on his own, and he finally ended up in sackcloths and ashes. And his wife told him that he might as well curse God and die. But at that point, Mr. Job remembered something, that there is an integrity to the soul, a reality to the spirit. With this deeper self-awareness, this spiritual identification, he reached back through himself to the cause of everything that is, and discovered God. And that is from the essay, The Ego in Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. So our call to action today is this. Whatever you choose to do next today, begin by interacting with the spirit that is within the other. See the crying baby and its parent in the grocery store as divine beings. Recognize spirit in the eyes of the homeless on the street. We are all reflections of the divine. So let's take this into prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, if it's comfortable for you, and allow my words to become your words as I recognize that power, that source energy, that place that, as Ernest Holmes called Mr. Job, went within himself to find the cause and the creation of all that is within. For this cause, this power, this energy, this source within me is the same cause, power, and source within all things, all beings. And this is God. about this power is that it is good, it is love, it is life, prosperity, beauty, abundance, and grace. And it's from this place of recognizing and unifying, I speak my word into that law that always says yes. I speak my word and know that each and every interaction I have today, I remember and I know that I am interacting with that living spirit. And I do so from a place of peace, cooperation, and community. I do so moving forward, living out loud, knowing that all is well, and all shall be well. So I release this affirmative prayer into that law that always says yes. And I know my consciousness has been shifted to a place of receptivity. I know it, I expect it, and I demand it. With a grateful heart, knowing it is done, and let it go. And together we say, so it is.
We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power of love. We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power of love. We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power. We know the healing power of love. Oh, we know the healing power of love. We know the healing power of love.
Now is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for all of the ways that you continue to consciously contribute to the center. We are honored to be able to support you spiritually. We appreciate your gifts, your tithes, your pledges, your conscious contributions to CCSL. They are important to us because it helps us fulfill our vision of creating a world that works for everyone. We are engaging with that law of circulation as we remember that God is our source, as we are circulating Spirit's energy in the form of giving and receiving. We have two convenient ways for you to donate to CCSL. We have a web giving link and a text to give number. These are on the slide, and you can access them in your latest e-news. If you'd like to give electronically, I believe that Robin has the square today. She's shaking her head, yes. If you give electronically, or if you don't have anything to give, or if you have your giving in your hand, I invite you to take your hand, rub it together, feel the power of God. Yes, and it's fun. And also, as the basket comes around, I would encourage you to give and take some love, love, love. So please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
So as we witness the law of circulation, let's sing All That I Need Comes to Me. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Sweet rain that washes me clean. The mind creates all things, to my life it brings. Sweet rain that washes me clean. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful knowing that all that I need comes to me, moves through me, and circulates back out into the world. Knowing that this is God. God is always moving through, around, within, and back out again. Circulation of money and abundance. Yes, yes, and more yes. This center is blessed. I am blessed. Each person here is blessed to be a part of that circulation. I am so grateful. I open up more. I release. And with gratitude, I say, and so it is.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
So now is the time for the giving of our thanks. Thank you to the practitioners, Janelle Carroll, for the meditation. Thank you to Kristen Pierce for being on the platform today. Big thank you to our center band, Tony Bernardi on keyboard, Steve Caracas on bass. Thank you, Julie Colbert, for being our service coordinator. Thank you, Dave Scarborough, for being in the live stream. Thank you, Robin Brookhouse, for being on slides. Thank you to our song leaders, Matt Papa Ware, Helen Yaya Ware, for doing our song leaders. And thank you for all of the volunteers that create this sacred space for our celebration. And last of all, thank you all for being here in person. Thank you everyone who is watching now or watching later on. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us. Please come back next week and bring all of your family and friends. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. We'd love to give you some information about who we are and what we believe. Julie will have a welcome packet. If you would like us to send you a welcome packet, please send us a Facebook message. That is our service for today. Please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now, and so it is.
So let's all stand and sing our final song, Everything I Need to Know. Oh, 1, 2, 3.